Alright, here we go, boys. Quick video update of the young Birmingham rollers. And as you guys can see, I have attached my sun cage back to my kit box. Normally I don't train this way. I usually train before the birds can even fly, but this season kind of had a little bit of a setback, so started a little bit late, so went back to my old method, which is a good thing because I'll be able to share the concept with you guys, all my new followers, which I do appreciate every single one of you. When I first started making the videos, I shared what I knew at the time. I feel like I've advanced a little bit more, and I'll just be able to share that new information. One of the things is I attach the sun cage and it stays on, I want to say, for about a week or so. And during that week, the birds don't get fed morning times, they get fed afternoons, because what it does, it allows the birds to jump out of the sun cage and look around waiting to get fed. Versus if the birds are fed early in the morning, it'll just cause them to stay inside the kit box and it won't like create that activity to jump out, which is not good, because the more they're out, the more they're being homed. As you guys can see right here, these birds are looking up at their surroundings. So what it allows is the birds to see their surroundings before they even come out of the cage. Another thing that the sun cage really helps with is the landing part. A lot of people don't really know or have ever paid attention that the birds naturally know how to fly. They naturally don't know how to land. So the birds have a hard time learning how to land. So with the sun cage, every time the bird jumps up here and then jumps back down there inside the kit box, the bird already starts to learn how to land. So by the time you do open this door up and you allow the birds to come out and do their thing, they're already used to landing either down on the cage down there or up here on the sun cage. I've already been doing this for about 3 to 4 days. I do have my feed can here, and they do know they're gonna get fed right now because I've been feeding afternoons. And as you guys can see right there, I created the feed call. They can see their feed tray here. So I'll show you guys what I'm gonna do next. All right guys, so we're all set up here. We got the feed tray set up, and then we have the birds already in their attention. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open their door. I'm gonna throw the feed out here to create them to come outside of their cage, and this is their first day out. I've got their door open and they're full attention. As you guys can see, none of the birds are really anxious to fly. They're more anxious to get fed, because we've been on this rotation for the last 3 days. So it just really allows the simplicity and the moving forward with the birds. So since I have their full attention now, what I'm gonna do is add some feed to the tray, and that's gonna cause them to jump up to the tray and get that effect of flying out of the box and feeling comfortable. You only wanna add a little bit of feed at a time. You don't wanna add too much, because you wanna create that constant jumping in and out of the cage, which is what creates them to be comfortable when they do start flying to land back inside of the cage. So it becomes like a mental note to them of what to do after they land when they do learn how to fly. It just allows them to learn their surroundings. And it really does help with them just feeling comfortable outside of the kit box. Most young birds are really jumpy because they don't really know their surroundings just yet. So this method has really worked really well for me. And as you guys can see, it is their first day out and they are fairly comfortable with the door open. They're more focused on eating right now versus looking around. But this is exactly what you want. You want the birds eating. You want some of the birds up on the perch, jumping back and forth. And as you guys can see, this little guy, first one to fly out. And they will do this. They will scatter themselves. So that's why I say you want to feed a little bit at a time, because you don't want them to get full and then not be able to call them back in. But if I were to pour a little more feed on that tray, those birds all come down to that tray. Little amounts at a time, and it creates that activity. See there, that bird just flew out and landed. This guy here. So they're learning the landing method, which tells me they're about ready to fly. So it's a great first day outing. Hope I was able to share the little bit that may help on how the process actually works and getting the birds homed in. I will do this process for about maybe, I want to say about 3 days. And once the 3 days go by, what I like to do is get the birds out of the box, kind of get them to all jump out, and then close the door behind them and force them to stay on top of the kid box. So they either fly on their own or it just gives them more aware of their surroundings. So now what I like to do in their final ration of feeding, I leave the door wide open behind them just so they get that comfortability of knowing they can fly out if they want to. But what's more important is actually staying in and grabbing their feed. And you get stuff like this little birds starting to feel comfortable with being out of the cage. They jump in and out, and that's when you know they're real comfortable with their surrounding. So I'm gonna let these guys finish up their food. I will keep you guys updated. I have a few more I'll be adding to this kit to make it a 20-man kit. We'll keep you guys updated on all the process.